Hello, it's Kyle Griswold with The Broken Blade. And first of all, I just want to apologize. I am currently filming at my martial arts studio because I have a newborn baby at the house. And I can't promise you that there won't be really loud screaming noises throughout the video. I've tried to do this like 5 times, but the Korean restaurant next door is having a party or something, and they're just being really loud. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point of this video is I wanted to talk about the projects that we are working on at Broken Blade Publishing. We just released a webzine, The Blazing Citadel. It's going to be released every month, and it's going to have some really cool content. I wasn't sure at first at how well I'd be able to take on this other project, but having finished the first issue, I can tell you I'm actually really excited about it, and I had a lot of fun writing the first issue. Something about the format of doing the zine, it just feels like a nice break from working on like the books, which can sometimes feel overwhelming in scope. So that zine is going to have new Streets of Peril content every month. It's going to have new adventures, spells, magic items. It's going to have more monsters to expand your bestiary, new lore for the setting. It's going to be, I'm telling you, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be great. Along with this zine and my own contributions in working on it, the other thing I really want to do with this zine is I want to open it up to you guys. Some of you have been coming up with really cool content, some homebrew stuff for Streets of Peril, and I would love, if you guys contact me and you want to submit some stuff for the zine, I'd love to put it in there as well and just share all your guys' hard work with everyone. The other thing that we're working on right now is Storms over Sternberg. This is the first supplemental book for Streets of Peril. We've been working on that now for a while, and it's done. The writing's done. I just need to do the editing, and the other thing that we have left for that is the art. We're about halfway through the art. Pavel Gazunko, who did the really excellent cover for the original Streets of Peril book, the core rule book. He's doing the cover. In fact, he's finished the cover for Storms over Sternberg, and it's got this really cool sea serpent rising above the water. He also did the lettering, which looks awesome, and he's done some full-page illustrations for the book. The art's really good. Asha Yordanova, who did all the illustrations for the original rulebook, she did the bestiary art. She is doing the expanded bestiary for Storms over Sternberg. So she is doing all these maritime aquatic themed monsters because the book is primarily a setting guide and it is focused on the coastal city of Sternberg. And what I really wanted to do is not only offer the game master a lot of content and information pertaining to the city. So there's a full map that gets broken down also into like smaller district maps. There's like significant interesting places where the players can visit, along with like plot hooks that the game master can use. There are all these really interesting factions in the city, like dark cults, criminal syndicates, noble houses, mercenary companies. Some really interesting influential figures that the players can interact with and either like maybe try and basically confront or ally themselves with. But because this setting is in on this coastal city, I wanted to make sure that there's like some rules that can easily be added to your game to make playing in a coastal environment make sense. So, for example, like I said, the expanded bestiary has all these maritime monsters, and then there will be new rules for naval engagements. So if you are just doing a battle on the deck of a ship, the standard rules that are in the core rulebook are going to work for you fine. But if you wanted to have battles involving lots of ships, these rules are going to make it so that you can quickly resolve those battles in a very intuitive way that's not going to take too much time. And I will go into that in more detail in another video. In fact, I'm planning on doing a whole Storms over Sternberg video in the future. But yeah, Storms is basically done. The Kickstarter, there's a pre-launch page right now. I'll put a link to that in the description. Please do me a favor. If you haven't done so already, go to that pre-launch page. Just a little box that says notify me of launch. Click the little button there. It's probably silly, but I want to make sure that there's enough interest in this campaign before I launch it so that I know it's going to get fulfilled. Otherwise, I'm really confident with basically, I could launch the campaign today, and I am confident that I can get you guys the book in your hands very quickly. Those of you who backed the last Streets of Peril campaign on Kickstarter, where we did the revised book, the really new, beautiful book, you'll know that there was a very quick turnaround from the day that campaign ended to the point where like you got your books in your hands and you got the PDFs even quicker, because I have very strong feelings when it comes to crowdfunding, wherein like, I'm not going to take your money if all I don't even have a title for the book, or I have no rules written. Like, I don't work that way. This product is ready to go with a few little minor additions it needs. So I would expect that we'll hopefully launch in January and then get those books in your guys' hands really quickly. And then the last thing that I've been working on is kind of a secret project. It's a whole new tabletop role-playing game. But it's a fun role-playing game. It's a very lighthearted beer and pretzels game. You can play it in between whatever your regularly scheduled sessions of whatever game you're currently playing. And it's called Lawn Wars. And you play a lawn gnome. How cool is that? A lawn gnome. Yeah, so I'll give you just the quick rundown of like what Lawn Wars is about. The gnomes, lawn gnomes, they are these fairies, and unlike all the other fae, gnomes actually really like humans. They admire humanity, and they sort of recognize the humans who place them in their lawns as like their liege lords, like the kings and queens. And they see themselves as like knights and retainers, and they are wardens of the land that is ruled by their masters. And what ends up happening, though, is that as humans become increasingly more antagonistic with one another and become hostile and yelling at each other and arguing over like sports teams and other stupid shit, as you know, people do, the gnomes, they sense the hostility and they basically intuit from that like our nations are going to war. And so like if the neighbor across the street, he flies a banner of a rival sports team, they look at that banner and they go, that's the enemy's heraldry. And then our sports team banner, which is up over our garage, that's our nation's banner. And so they'll do things like they'll go and vandalize each other's properties, they'll steal things from each other, they'll tear up each other's yards, and they just beat each other up. So it's funny, it's goofy, it's lawn gnomes waging war on one another. And then on top of that, there's these other fey beings, and they don't like humans. And so like there's the brownies who live in the forests and fields, and there are goblins who live in the sewers. And so the gnomes, your gnome characters, they may have to kind of navigate dealing with these potentially hostile fae. So like, they may have to make alliances with some of these fae. They may have to wage war against the fae. It's a fun game. It's supposed to be really lighthearted. The rules, all the writing for that's done. But I kind of want to hold off on really getting too more kind of carried away with that project until Storms over Sternberg is completed. We really want to focus on Storms, especially the art budget, because art's very expensive, and I have really high standards for the art, and I take good care of my artists. I make sure that they get paid well. So, and then the other thing too with Lawn Wars is I'm not really certain about what direction I want to go with the art. it's supposed to be very lighthearted and fun. And so initially I thought, well, I'll do like kind of cute cartoony art. And then as I start, the more I think about it, I'm wondering if I want to like do really gritty, like straight-laced art where it's like like the art is kind of taking itself seriously, but then the subject matter is so like so silly that like there's kind of a funny dichotomy between the two. I can't decide. I have I've got one piece of concept art from an artist. I'm gonna try and like get a couple more concept pieces from other artists, and I'll put those up on Instagram or somewhere, and you guys can let me know what you guys think. And if you have got thoughts about the art in general, let me know in the comments what you think. And that pretty much wraps up this video. That's what I'm working on. That's what everyone else on the team's working on. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2024. There's lots of cool things in the pipeline, and want to create more videos, hopefully with like decent lighting and not with people walking by my martial arts studio all night yelling and screaming. So I apologize again, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye. Something I forgot to mention, for those of you who are interested in our Blazing Citadel zine, you can only access that through our Patreon. Head over to our Patreon, become a member, become a Lunch Connect member, and then you'll get full access to all of those monthly Blazing Citadel issues. Your support is so appreciated. Thank you.